All right, YouTubers, welcome back to War Thunder Ground Forces with the Angry Nerd. And today we're going to take a look at the British Light Tank Mk VIII A25 Harry Hopkins. The Light Tank Mk VIII A25 was a British light tank produced by Vickers Armstrong during the Second World War. The Mk VIII was designed by Vickers Armstrong to be the successor to the Mark VII Tech Track for the British Army. The company intended to improve on the design of the earlier Tech Track in a number of areas, particularly that of armor protection. It had thicker armor than the Mark VII Tech Track, with the frontal hull and turret armor being increased to a thickness of 38 millimeters or 1.5 inches, and the side armor to 17 millimeters or 0.67 inches. The hull and turret sides were also given more sloping surfaces than the Tech Track to help deflect shells. The dimensions of the Tech Track were also changed, the Mk VIII being longer by 6 inches and wider by 1 foot 3 inches, and its weight being increased. These alterations meant that the tank could no longer be air portable, as it was too heavy to be carried by the General Aircraft's Himmelcar glider. The Mk VIII was fitted with the same 12-cylinder engine as the Tech Track, and the increased weight meant that its maximum speed decreased to 30 miles per hour or 48 kilometers per hour. The armament remained the same as the Tech Tracks as well: one machine gun and a 2-pounder 40mm main gun. The tank also kept the Tech Track's unusual steering system design, which accomplished turns by the lateral movement of the road wheels, which bowed the tracks. When the driver turned the steering wheel, all 8 road wheels not only turned, but also tilted in order to bend the tracks and make the tank turn. This idea was to reduce the mechanical strain and waste of power caused by the traditional system used to turn tanks, which was to apply the brakes or power to one track over the other in order to turn the tank. The Mk VIII's steering system was power assisted, which was an improvement over the Tech Tracks. Vickers Armstrong submitted the Mk VIII design to the War Office in September 1941, and in that same month, the Tank Board of the War Office ordered 1,000 tanks, later increasing to 2,410. It was also at this time that the tank was given the specification number A25 and given the name Harry Hopkins, after the American President Roosevelt's chief diplomatic advisor. The board hoped that production could commence in June of 1942 at a rate of approximately 100 per month. But the fate of the light tank had already been sealed. By mid-1941, officials at the War Office and the British Army had finally decided that light tanks as a concept were a liability and too vulnerable to be used by the British Army. This was due to the poor performance of British light tanks during the Battle of France, which was caused when a shortage of tanks designed to engage enemy tanks led to light tanks being deployed against German armor. The resulting high casualties led the War Office to rethink the suitability of the light tank design. The pre-war role of the light tank, that of reconnaissance, had also been found to be better carried out by scout cars, which had smaller crews and better cross-country performance. Consequently, by the time significant numbers of the Mk VIII were being produced, they had already become obsolete and did not see combat. There was a requirement for a limited number of light tanks within the organization of British armored divisions, but this had already been met by the American-produced M5 Stuart light tank. A policy report issued in December 1942 suggested that the tank could be issued to reconnaissance regiments or special light tank regiments for specialized operations. But these suggestions were discussed and discarded, and instead it was decided that those tanks should be handed over to the Royal Air Force for use in defending airfields and air bases. Production of the Mark VIII began in June of 1942 as expected, but it immediately began to experience problems. The front suspension system was singled out as requiring extensive modification. Problems were still being encountered in July of 1943 with a report from the Fighting Vehicle Proving Establishment indicating that serious defects were still being found in the models being tested. The problems became so acute that the trials of the Mark VIII were abandoned earlier than scheduled. By the 31st of August 1943, only 6 Mark VIII tanks had been produced, compared to the War Office requirement of 100 by the beginning of the year. The War Office persisted in retaining the design and issued a requirement in November of 1943 for 750 tanks to be built. Only around 100 were completed when production officially ended in February 1945. Now in War Thunder Arcade, the Light Tank Mark VIII A25 Harry Hopkins is a rank 2 light tank in the British tech tree with a battle rating of 2.3. It has a 315 horsepower engine propelling the 8.6 ton vehicle to a top speed of 33 miles per hour. Its main armament is a 40mm QF 2-pounder cannon with a maximum ammo load of 50 rounds. Its secondary armament consists of a 7.92mm machine gun. Now I have it assigned to an expert crew with a crew level of 150, which gives me a reload of 3 seconds on the 2-pounder cannon. Okay, so what do I think of the Harry Hopkins here in War Thunder Arcade? Well, I have to admit that in actual gameplay, I cannot tell that this thing has any additional armor over the regular Tetrak. And I really struggled to spade this vehicle out. I couldn't spade it out like I normally do. I'll get into my normal spading procedures at the conclusion of this video. But anyway, I struggled spading this vehicle out because I struggled to damage other vehicles, even light tanks. Until you have researched the APC-BC shell, you are going to struggle to penetrate anything on the battlefield except for the most lightly armored vehicles. And in this vehicle, your survival depends on you being able to stop the enemy from being able to return fire with your first round. And if you don't, your chances of surviving the engagement are low. But once you upgrade to the APC-BC round, I would say that your offensive capabilities are on par with the other light tanks at this battle rating. Now that being said, why don't we take a look at a couple of my best games in the Light Tank Mark VIII A25 Harry Hopkins. Here we go. Alrighty, we have picked up Cervesk 13. I guess that's how you say it. You know what? I might want to do the rightmost spawn point and go check out the C cap. I started to do A, but I think I'd much rather hide around the corner of the building there and watch people trying to go to C. I might have a little bit better luck there if we don't get overrun. And need to look for, see if anybody's come up with a nice camouflage. I just made this one quickly because I didn't like the bare plain camouflage standard that it came with. I need to hop on. Last time I looked, nobody had made one for the Harry Hopkins. But maybe there's a couple out now. Anyway, this looks better than the standard. Alright, we're in position. Bounced it. Look at that. Look at that new ammo. It's much better. I would stand no chance of penetrating that T50 with the other ammos. Got a hit. Oh, dang it. Kill assist. Dang. We're doing some damage, but we're not killing a lot of stuff. Oh. Upper plate I can get through. Need to kill that last guy in the turret. Dang it. Got him. And kill my driver. Just going back up a little bit. Replace my crew member. It looks like we have gotten the C cap pretty much under control. Yes! What a lucky shot. I'm thinking about moving over toward the B cap. Don't see any enemies around here. Ooh, air battle. I missed it. Alright, let's go to the B cap. There's another air battle, but I'm out in the open now, so I'm not going to take that one. Just head on over to the B cap. Or maybe I'll take it when I get behind this build. What? Okay. I'm in the air battle. Alright. I got 2 bombs. Let's see. Oh, let's try this Panzer IV. I was not really prepared for this air battle, and my tank is just out in the middle of the street. I'm gonna fly this in anyway. Hopefully. Yes! I'm not dead. That was really lucky. I thought I had missed the air battle. It showed somebody else getting it, and then I didn't press the next one, but I got an air battle anyway, so I'm not sure what happened, but we didn't die. That's all that matters. Alright, got a couple of tanks coming down this road. bomb from somewhere. Don't know where it went. Okay, looks like it might have taken out a couple of tanks on the road there. Oh, that was lucky. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can make it across the street. Oh, T-28. Dang. Oh, might as well fight. Got him. Okay, there's something right over there. Let's see. Got the commander. Got him. Don't stay out in the open. Let's come over here, take this air battle. Come around here, hide in this corner. Oh, I'm up on the wall. Okay. Alright, we got 8 bombs. I'm looking for stuff that's not moving, but go ahead and get rid of these bombs. That M2A2 is really close to me. Looks like my teammates took care of the M2A2. I was lucky. Again. Alright. B is captured. Let's move on over toward A. But I'm not going to go straight up that hill. I'm going to come over this way some. I go up this road. There's a little dip in the ridge up there that I can kind of use for some cover. Right here, where this road comes through. Oh. Let's see. Come around this way. Oh, he's dead. There's a Panzer IV F2 over there. He can obliterate me in one shot. So this may not be the best of ideas. But if he's not looking for me, there we go. M4A2 right there. Oh, shoot. Alright. Alright, here we go, here we go. Dang, I didn't penetrate him. Got him that time, though. You know what? We've got 2 caps. I'm not really worried about finishing this out. Come out here and see if I can pick up a couple more kills. I'm not worried about losing the match. If I can actually make it through these fences and stuff. Good Lord. Got some kind of TD right up here. What is it? It's a Stug. Missed him. Got him. Alright. We made it. The new ammo helps a lot. Ooh, artillery support. Okay, first strike. Avenger. Ground Force Rescuer. Adamant. Assist streak. Double strike. Safe and sound. Safe and sound bomber. Rank does not matter. Without a miss. Tank rescuer. Professional. Shadow strike streak. Survivor. Heavy metal hero. The best squad. Balancer. An own hand. First place in the team. 12 targets destroyed, 95% battle activity, and we picked up artillery support. There we go. We're making some progress in researching now. Alrighty, we have picked up Ash River, and there is one cap point in the center of the map. And as you know, I will probably be heading toward C4, and depending on exactly where I spawn in, I'll either take the more northern road or the more southern road to get there. Let's see. Let's go to the right. Now here in arcade, the maneuverability of the Harry Hopkins is pretty good. I think it's dramatically worse in realistic and simulator, but I'm only worried about what it does here in arcade. If we can make it up here, these rocks. Alright, here we go. Oh, target. There's one. There's two. Missing. There's three. Ah. Dang it. That's four. Let's take out this air battle. Probably could have taken it out a little sooner, but there was so much stuff to shoot at. Drop some artillery. We got two bombs. I'm looking for groups of vehicles. Let's see. Alright. And I guess someone told me we're supposed to fly toward this black dot to get some extra points. So we'll give that a try. 3 targets destroyed. We'll take that. Okay. +3 for artillery call strikes. Ooh. I'm gonna switch. This one's got a little more explosive power, and this is pretty lightly armored. we killed somebody with Artie. There we go. That's like a freebie right there. This thing has a really slow reverse speed. Kind of hesitant to get too much further out here because it will take me a long time to reverse back. This dude, I wonder if I could smoke for him. Well, he got finished repairing. So I think all I did was obstruct everybody's vision. It was the thought that counted. And I can't get rid of that tree. Alright, let's see. Tree is bothering me so much. Got him. Alright, we're taking out this air battle again. We got 4 bombs this time. Let's see, maybe you, one for you, and oh, did I get that last bomb off? I mean, I dropped it, but I don't know if it was on target. 2 targets destroyed. I think that was the last guy alive over there. All right, we made it. Woo! All right. First strike. Base defender. Teamwork. Avenger. Multi-strike. Ground multi-strike. Safe and sound bomber. Tank rescuer. Without a miss. Shadow strike streak. Ground force rescuer. Professional. Multi-strike. Final blow. Mission maker. Survivor. Heavy metal hero. And the best squad. First place in the team. 12 vehicles destroyed. 87% battle activity. Alright. Not bad. Much easier to play than before I got it spaded. Yeah. Alrighty. The Harry Hopkins. This was one of the vehicles I was looking forward most to in the new patch, but man, it was a struggle to spade this vehicle. And I did say that I would go into more detail about how I spade vehicles. So here it goes. I have no idea if this actually works. This is just what I've been trying. It seems to work, but I don't really have a comparison. When I have war bonds, I go to the war bond shop and I buy universal backup vehicles, and I also buy research boosters. So when I'm trying to spade a vehicle, I will activate a research booster. And then during the game, if I get killed in that vehicle, I will go and use one of my universal backups for that vehicle. That way I'm playing the vehicle twice in the same game and hopefully getting more research because I'm playing the vehicle twice while I'm running an active booster. Now, I don't know if backup vehicles earn the same amount of research or not, but when I was spading this vehicle, I didn't have any universal backups. So I could only play it once during the game, and it seemed like it took me twice as long to spade this vehicle. Especially when I was having trouble doing damage to enemy vehicles and getting killed pretty early in the game. Let me know if you've tried this technique for spading out your vehicles and if it actually does spade it out, because I'm really not sure if it does or not. Also, let me know what you think of the Harry Hopkins if you've already played it. If you've enjoyed this look at the Light Tank Mk VIII A25 Harry Hopkins, hit that like button. If you didn't, don't. Subscribe if you would. But as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Nerd out.